Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe. And ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
Moving back in with your parents, especially in a black household, has got to be the jokes of all jokes. Legit. Ain't no peace. Ain't no teamwork. Ain't no parent, because clearly, they had us for nothing. Like, why can't, like, black people, like, actually come together and be a family like these other race? And I'm not saying other race probably don't experience that, but I know they don't experience with the black child experience. If you know, you know. I'm not about to go in detail, but if you know how it's like moving back in home with your people. And in this economy, you would think they would be open to, like, come home, save money, pay. You gotta pay a bill or something. I don't mind that, but let's come save money. Let's figure out right? Whatever. I don't care what age if I ever have a child. I don't care what age my child is. If they have to come back home, baby, come home. And just because you decide to come home, I'm not gonna cost you your peace or your sanity. Do your thing. You're grown. Save your money. You're gonna pay at least one bill, but I want you to do what's best for you. Like, you have a place to lay your head peacefully. Especially with a black mom and the daughters. Ladies, raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Please, I know I'm not the only one. There's something with that, the black moms and the daughters. Because are you a hater? Oh my God.
So I'm gonna let y'all into my business a little bit, and I've shared this before, but about a year and a half ago, I moved back in with my mom because some things was going on, and whatever. It's time for me to go now, though, because the thing about it is, when you move back in with your parents, they eventually try to parent you like you're a child again. So let me tell y'all what happened. So I've been telling y'all for the past couple of weeks that I'm going to see Beyonce in Chicago. Now, bought my ticket during the pre-sale. Figured that I would probably find somebody to go with eventually. Didn't find nobody to go with. Whatever. I'm like, if I gotta go alone, I gotta go alone because I'm not missing this concert. So yesterday, I get part of my outfit in the mail. And I bring in a box, and she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just something for my outfit for the concert." And she's like, "Well, I really don't want you to go to Chicago by yourself." I said, okay. She was like, well, ask so-and-so to go. I'm like, why would I do that? She said a random person that I don't even talk to on a regular basis. I'm like, why would I do that? No. Maybe I find somebody maybe will. She was like, well, you're not going to Chicago by yourself. That's out of the question. Good thing I didn't fucking ask you. Now, I didn't say that last part to her, but I was in my room and I turned around and looked at her. And she was just like, I mean, I'm not trying to, I was like, I'm a grown woman. If I want to go to this concert, I will go whether I'm going alone or not. That's end of the discussion right there. Just that little back and forth pissed me off for the rest of the day. Because then I'm like, yeah, I got to get up out of here.
That's the thing too. When you under somebody else's roof, you have to abide by somebody else's rules. And then your parents feel like you're a little kid still. They feel like they control your life because you're under their roof. You're not your own individual no more. You that same 10-year-old kid. You see? That's how they treat you. So they feel like they can make decisions for you. You're not capable of making them on your own. They know what's best for you more than you know what's best for yourself, which sometimes they do. But when you're grown, it's like, I want to make my own decisions. You really don't know. You out the loop. You don't know what's going on. And you don't know my life like that. But that's what you got to deal with. It's just more people you have to answer to. At the same time, if it's an environment that broke you, you can't heal in that environment. Or it's no peace, it's no privacy, it's none of that.
Remember when you couldn't wait to move out your mama's house? Imagine moving back in with her in your 30s. What I once thought was a failure, which, I'm working on, it has really come to my attention that it's truly a blessing to be able to do so. Not everybody can call. The amount of stories on this very app of watching mothers, now single mothers, struggling with their children and not having anywhere to turn and then being scrutinized for it, yeah, I'm truly blessed. I am truly blessed, and I count every single blessing every single day. Am I able to save money so that I can get back on my own and eventually take care of them the way that I see them taking care of me? Absolutely. And do I have my village, like, on deck? God forbid anything, they're here or I'm here. We got it. But what I will also say is the dynamics also have changed a bit, because now, you're also tending to your parents. It's not the other way around where they're taking care of you. Just because you're back at your mama's house, your dad's, your people's, whatever family, multi-generational, everybody should be pulling their fair weight. And while you may be there due to financial circumstances, you could wash a dish, push a vacuum, sweep, mop. It's been like a matter of pride for myself that I shook off. Yep. I'll tell anybody, yep, I'm back home with my parents. It's not the other way. I am back home with my parents. And, what you said? If this is what you choose to do for the rest of your life, so be it. It's your life. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. What's the harm? You came from these people.
And I wish I was 30 years old, able to live with my parents, because I would. Let me tell you one thing. I've been a homeowner since I was 23. Y'all, and when I tell you the journey is hard, okay? Everything that gotta get fixed on this motherfucker, I gotta pay for. If I can go back to my mama's house, you can bet your last butt I would sell all of this shit and go back there, just so I could save some money and do it all over again. It's nothing wrong with being 30 and living with your parents. That's really what I want to say. That's the bottom line. I feel like people even have something to say about that. Like, what are you mad for? Because your parents won't take you in? I don't know. And my son, he gonna have like his own house in my backyard. I'm sorry. He could stay here as long as he wants to. I'm not putting my kids out when they're not financially ready. Granted, I've been working since I was 16, so I mean that don't really apply to me. But
a couple of people have asked me what's it like living with my parents, or like how did the conversation go to live with my parents, or like what do they say to you about like your plans and your timelines. And to keep it simple, like they don't say anything. And it's not lost on me like how fortunate and grateful and lucky I am to have parents that operate that way. But like it sincerely was a conversation of like, hey, I'm thinking about stepping away from my job and moving back in so that I can have a little bit of breathing room to figure out like what I want to do next, instead of just like taking a short break and then having the pressure to figure out immediately like what I'm going to do next. And they're like, okay. And we had like little conversation about it, but nothing set in stone. And then literally one day I like walked in with my dog and I said, I have an announcement. And my parents are rather quiet people. They just stared at me and I said, my dog and I are moving in. And my dad goes, when? I go, in 7 days. And that was it. And since I've been there, there has been no questioning or rushing of like, when am I gonna figure it out? How am I gonna figure it out? I share with them like what I'm working on and what my journey is, but like I think I'm gonna get emotional. I'm really, really grateful that they have just like, given me this space. I would not be able to do what I'm doing currently if it were not for them. And that is not lost on me in the slightest bit. So they annoy the hell out of me sometimes, but like that's parents what parents aren't annoying. But yeah, so I'm just really grateful. And that's like the reality of how that all came to be. So if you're in a season of thinking about moving back home and you have the opportunity to do it, or you have the opportunity for your kids to move back home, like extend the offer, be gracious. And I will chat with you all later. Doodles.
Should we normalize moving back home in our 30s? This is a question that many are asking due to hard times, due to, you can't really save when you are paycheck to paycheck. So some people move back home so they can get out of being paycheck to paycheck. They can get out of survival mode. They can eventually escape the rat race They can eventually end up paying off some of their debt, paying off credit cards. This is the only option some people have. But that's a good option to have if you do have that, because everybody can't move back. If you can and you feel like it's best for you, then I'm rooting for you. You know what's best, no matter what anybody else say, friends, family, whoever. You know what to do. You know what's best for you.
So many things have happened in the past few months. Like, my life has changed drastically so much within like the last, since November, December, January, like what, the last 3-4 months. My life has been a whole 180, 360, everything. I recently had to make a choice within less than 24 hours to move back in with my family. Something happened and I had less than 24 hours to decide right on the spot, like, what am I gonna do, what's better for me. And I did not have time to fully process the whole situation. I have not lived with my family since I was like 17. Okay. I moved out at a very early age. I am now 29, so y'all can imagine how long that has been. I am currently now sharing the room with my little sister. I am now barely processing it because last week I was really busy and I wasn't really even home. I was kind of just like in LA and Long Beach, and I was staying over like at other people's houses. So now I'm back, and yesterday I had a really hard time processing it because it's not my house, it's not my room, it's not my bed, it's not my stuff. I am very grateful to have the opportunity, of course, to come back home and take advantage of the opportunity to like just go to school and finish school and be a full-time student. I am so grateful for that. Don't get me wrong, but the process of it is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. I cried a lot, especially when you're so used to being independent for everything. I felt really bad. I felt like a failure. I felt like a burden to my family. They keep reassuring me, of course, that like it's just, you know, it's temporary. Time's gonna pass by and I'm gonna, you know, be able to go back to having my own place. Why is this hair not cooperating? It's really hard. It's really hard to process this new change in my life. But I now have time to make TikToks. So welcome to my life again. Today we're gonna run a lot of errands. Well, maybe not a lot, but we're gonna do some errands. We're gonna unpack because I haven't even fully unpacked. A lot of my things are in the storage now, so I kind of just brought the necessities that I have to, you know, organize in my sister's room. I'm gonna go on a date later. We're gonna go, this is the third date with this guy. We're gonna go indoor flying. But yeah, I feel like I'm in high school again. I was coming home yesterday from Long Beach because I had stayed up in Long Beach for like almost 5 days, I think, over there. And I was driving home and I was going to my old house. And then I realized again, I was like, oh, just kidding. I don't live there. Gotta go back. So it's gonna be something that's gonna be really hard to process for a bit until I get adjusted. But yeah, come along in this journey and see how it is to live back with my mom. I live with my mom, stepdad, and 2 siblings. So, and I'm sharing my room with my little sister, which I never thought would ever happen. So yeah, hope y'all have a good day.
Before I start my pre-workout routine, which is me just stretching, I want to give y'all a life update. So I moved back in with my parents. I moved back in with my parents. I have been dealing with a situation that I thought was, you know, I felt like it was very divinely sent, okay? But I allowed somebody who wasn't, you know, I don't want to sound egotistical, but they wasn't higher spiritually ranked than I am. So I understood my assignment, but he didn't understand his. So in the kind-heartedness of who I am, I allowed him to have his way. And I should have never did that. I should have just, you know, did what I needed to do. But at the end of the day, I felt like I did what I needed to do. And I just feel like it's just time for a change. Like, it's time for me to get what I need out of life. It's time for me to level up. And this isolation is personal for me. anytime I go into isolation mode, like I feel like spirit is always working on me, so I can have this setback for a major comeback. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking a little rough because, yeah, not too bad, but I just wanted to come in here and give y'all a brief update, and just encourage anybody who has to go back home or who is dealing with a toxic situation or a situation that you just have grown from, you evolved from, and it's just time to go. Like, just do it. I mean, you gonna have to just be uncomfortable. Like, it is what it is, unless you have a backup plan and you save for a rainy day. Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do, and don't listen to other people. Okay, you do what spirit tells you to do in your intuition. Don't listen to nobody else, because I've learned that when I trust in the divine, things happen for me in a way that is in alignment with what I want and what I want to do. So, me being back with my parents is a blessing to me, because now I don't have to sit up and feel like prideful. You know what I'm saying? Like, prideful and just accept anything, as far as this transition. So I just want to encourage people to don't stay longer than you need to. Don't stay longer than you need to. You are not meant to just keep forgiving, thinking that that's making you a good person. It's really you being a people pleaser. Especially when spirit is telling you this ain't right, this ain't right, this ain't right, this ain't right, this ain't right. And you gotta keep going within to self-reflect and keep the peace. No. Keeping your peace is leaving.
It's not a race. It's not a competition. Life is not none of that. It's all about what makes you happy at the end of the day. A lot of people are depressed, stressed, due to the fact that they have rent. And they don't even get to enjoy that place. They're always at work trying to pay for it. Even during C-19, people came to realize, you know what, I don't even like this house that I'm paying for. And then other people, they get out here in the world and they get these luxuries, which are really liabilities. They get them because other people are getting them. They treat it like it's a competition. Oh, well, since my friend moved out, I need to move out. Since my friend got a car, I need to get a car. Life is no race. Life is no competition. We all see it differently. You might want to travel. You might want to save up and travel. You might want to start your own business, and you might need to save for that. You might plan on doing something completely different than what the standards are for the world. You live on your own terms. You do what's best for you. You do what's right for your life and what'll make you happy and what'll ultimately allow you to move forward. So if you got to go back to your parents' house, save up some money, pay off your credit, pay off any debt you got, become debt free. If you do that, you're way more well off than those that are probably judging you. But yeah, family, I appreciate you for watching. If you made it to the end, peace. And to my Hebrew family, shalom. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.